Okay, so go live. So now we have this site. Okay, so this is what we have created in the previous class. So it was looking kind of good. So but the problem is it's only looking good on the big screen. Let me show you what I mean. You have to right click. Okay, if you want to if you want to see your website on different screen sizes, you can just right click and then inspect. Okay, after inspecting the site, you have this option. What did this option do? What was this option supposed to do? We have discussed about this one. What does this do?
The arrow you're saying?
Yeah, this arrow.
It's like to select the element?
Exactly, good. It's basically like a selector. So if I were to click on it, and if I were to click on any element, it's going to highlight me that element. Okay. So beside this selector icon, we have this kind of like a laptop and a mobile kind of an icon. Okay. If you were to click on this, it's going to open your responsive screen. So at the moment it's saying dimensions and then responsive. So basically we can resize it according to whatever we want. Okay, if you were to click on this button, you have a lot of devices here you can basically click and check your website on. Okay, for example, if I were to press on this iPhone 14 Pro Max, it's going to open my site for that specific phone. So this is how our website looks on the phone. So do we want to make our website look like this?
No.
Obviously no. Yeah, exactly. So basically that is what responsiveness refers to. Responsiveness is basically one of the interviews question. Okay, you can note it down, or you can memorize them, because these are really important things that whenever I say it's part of the interview question, it's kind of important. Okay, so basically the interview question is, what is responsiveness? So basically responsiveness is your website adapting to different screen sizes. Okay, the question is a website only open on the desktop screen? Is it open on the desktop screen, or we have a lot of screens that our website can be opened on?
A lot of screens.
Exactly, that includes, what does that includes all of the screens?
Like iPad, phone,
Exactly, we have desktop.
laptops.
Good, exactly,
Yeah.
desktop, laptop, we have iPads, we have iPhones, plus we even have watches.
Apple Watches.
Yeah, exactly. So basically as a developer, okay, this part is kind of like difficult, but we have something that is going to make it easy. But in the starting we have to make ourselves to be in a little difficulty. So basically a website is going to be viewed on desktop, is going to be viewed on iPad, is going to be viewed on mobile phones, is going to be viewed maybe on watches as well. So whenever you design a website, whenever you develop a website, being a developer, you have to develop your websites keeping in mind all of the screen sizes that we have, like everything. So basically you are going to be designing the same website for different screens, maybe let's say 5 or 6 different screens, the same website. So this is kind of a non-functional requirement. Have we discussed about functional and non-functional requirements?
No, we
I don't
haven't.
think so.
Okay, so basically, for example, let's say you are now working as a developer, okay, a proper full-fledged developer. So whenever client approaches you, basically there are some requirements that he's going to or she's going to throw at you. Okay, you have to basically they're going to say you have to do this and do that and do this. Okay, these are functional requirements that the client wants you to do. Okay, that is the functional requirement that the client tell you that you have to do them. Then we have non-functional requirements. Non-functional requirements are those requirements that client expects you to do. Basically, he or she is not going to tell you about it. You have to do it yourself. So basically, responsiveness is a non-functional requirement. Whenever a client approaches you for, let's say, if he or she wants you to make a website, he's not going to tell you that you have to create it for every screen sizes. You have to create it for every screen size. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to create website for every screen size. Wait, I guess this,
Wait,
yeah,
I have a question.
yeah,
You know how you clicked on where it says all your screen sizes, like iPad mini and
yeah,
everything?
yeah.
So is there an option that says everything, or do we have to make it coded to like so it fits on every little thing.
No. So basically, you're talking about this, right?
Yeah, you see how it's all different phones and everything.
Yeah.
So let's say if I put an iPad Mini, obviously it's not gonna be the same size for Apple Watch, right?
No, it's gonna be different. So basically, this size is going to be exactly for the iPad Mini. That is, you can, if you can see here, we have
Yeah.
768. That is the width of the screen, and that is 1024 is the height of that iPad Mini. For example, if I were to, let's say, change it to iPhone XR, so basically now we have different screen size.
So I have to change it. I can't put it to where it says everything, right? This is different.
No, we
Like,
have something for that. We have this section,
okay,
responsive. If you
responsive.
were to click on this, you can adjust it to however you want, like
Okay.
this. Okay, so we are going to use this one. Okay, this responsive thing, so we can check for every screen size.
Alright.
Okay, so this topic is kind of like difficult because I'm starting this topic because now I have a good belief in you guys that you can create a lot of websites. Am I right, or should I make some more? You guys can make websites now. Yes.
No, no, you're right.
Okay, that's great then. So, there's another fancy tool you can use to check your responsiveness. We have this extension called Mobile Simulator. If you were to click on this, it's gonna create a mobile phone for you guys where you can actually check how it's going to look in your website. So this is how it's going to look on an iPhone. I guess it's iPhone 13 Pro. So yeah, this is how it's going to look. So do you want to deliver a website to your client like this? Obviously no. Okay, so we have all of these devices where you can check your website on. We have this Apple Watch as well. If you were to click on this, it's going to load your website on this screen, and it's kind of like really bad. Yeah, so you can click on anything, it's gonna simulate that device for you. So this, if you want to know about this extension, although we are not going to use this one a lot, we have all of this extension is called Mobile Simulator. You can download it, but this isn't what we are going to use a lot. We're going to use that inspector tool. Okay, but anyways, you can download it from here. Okay, so we are not going to continue this website anymore. We are now moving towards the new topic. You guys have to complete this in the next holidays that are coming. These four holidays, you have to complete this website. Until then, we are going to create this. We are going to start this next topic. So I'm gonna open a new folder. So file, open folder, and I'm gonna create a new folder on desktop, and I'm going to name it responsiveness. So what is responsiveness? Responsiveness, yeah. So what is responsiveness? I've told you about this just now.
It's where your website can adjust to multiple screens.
Exactly, good. Okay, so let me close this one, and I'm going to create a new file here. I'm going to say index.html. Okay, so how do I generate the boilerplate?
Exclamation point.
Good, exclamation mark. Okay, so we're going to start it easy. Okay, so what I want is, okay, first thing I want from you guys is, how do I open the responsive screen section? How do I open?
Inspect
Very
element.
good. Right click, inspect, and then we have this icon. Okay, click on this. When it's blue, now it's selected. So we should open this.
What is the name of that blue icon that you just clicked?
This one, you can call it responsive icon.
Okay.
Okay, so click on it. Now you have this screen where you can adjust it according to whatever you want. So how do I know what size it's currently on? How do I know that? Can you see something changing?
Yeah,
On the top,
next
you
to
see
Yeah,
responsive.
here it is. Sorry.
you'll see the width.
Yeah,
Inspect the
exactly.
width.
So this is the width of your screen, and this is the height of your screen. Okay, so height isn't a problem. We have this width basically poses a problem. So if you were to decrease it, it's gonna decrease it accordingly. If you were to increase it, it's gonna tell you exactly what's the dimension of your screen are. Okay. So we are going to start easy. So what I want is anything anything that is above 600 pixels, when my screen is above 600 pixels, I want my body to have a red color. And when my screen reaches below 600 pixels, I want my body to have a blue color. Is the question clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically,
Say it again, please.
okay, yeah. So as long as my screen size is above 600 pixels, okay, as long as it's saying above 600 pixels here, I want my screen to have a red color, my body to have a red color. But when my screen size reaches below 600 pixels, I want my screen to have, I want my body to have blue color. So basically what I'm doing is, we are making our body responsive. Basically it's going to respond according to the screen size. As long as it's greater than 600 pixels, it's going to have a red color, and when it reaches below 600 pixels, it's going to have a blue color.
Okay.
Okay, the problem statement is clear. So let us move towards implementing it. So first of all, we don't have to do anything in the body. Okay, so I'm going to do internal styling for the moment. So how do I do internal styling? Do you guys remember?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
How would I know how many pixels is on a tablet and an iPhone?
Very good question. That is a very good question. So basically, for mobile phones, okay, for mobile phones, we have an average size. We take 600 pixels for mobile phones. Okay, that's an average size. For tablets, we take 900 pixels. And for desktop screens or laptop screens, we take 1200 pixels to be average size. Okay. So basically, these are also called breaking points, but we are going to discuss it later in the lecture. Okay. So how do I do internal styling, or how do we do internal styling? You do remember we have three types of styling, right? What are those three types of
Yeah.
styling?
You have to add the tag.
Where do I add the tag?
Wait, repeat the in your HTML.
We are inside the HTML file. Okay, the question is,
The style tag.
yeah, where do I put the style tag? Where do I put it?
Edge.
Very good, head. So I'm gonna put the style tag. Okay, so on the larger screens that is above 600 pixels, we are gonna do what we were doing before. Okay, before in our previous classes. So I'm gonna select the body, dot body or hash body.
Wait, why did you make the CSS file?
I did not make the CSS file
Yeah, why not?
because I wanted to test you guys. Do you guys remember the what we have studied previously or not? Okay, so you have to make the CSS file. It's always, it's always mandatory that you make two different files. But basically, I don't want you to forget all of the things we have studied before. Okay, this is really important. Okay. Okay, so how do we select the body? Dot body or hash body? Like I want to select the body. I want to put the background color to be red on the body. How do I do it? Dot body, hash body. Come on,
Body only.
no, exactly, good. Only body because this is a built-in element. Okay, body, and I'm gonna say background color to be red. So yeah, now we have this red color. Any problem? Any problem until this point?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait.
Yeah.
It's 2,100. I thought you said it was below than 600.
No. At the moment, it has 2071 pixels. But what we want is when this screen size reaches below 600 pixels, that is here, I want this to have blue color. This is what we want. We haven't implemented it yet. Okay. So at the moment, it should have red color. Okay. As long as it's greater than 600 pixels, it should have a red color, and we have this red color. Okay. Now comes the new part. Now we're going to discuss about responsiveness. Like, what is responsiveness? Okay, how do you implement, not what is responsiveness, how do you implement responsiveness? Okay, responsiveness is implemented using media queries. Okay, and what is now media queries? Media basically refers to the screen our website is being viewed on. Like the screen, for example, if I were to see my website in a mobile phone, my medium is going to be mobile phone. Similarly, when I see my screen on a tablet, my medium is going to be a tablet, so that's how we get this word media. Okay, so whenever you want to implement the responsiveness, you are going to use the media queries. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you implement the media queries? You're gonna say, after styling for the bigger screen, we're gonna come, we're gonna be below this, and we'll say at the rate media, and then we are going to put space. This space is really important, you have to put space. Okay, and then parentheses. Okay, now these parentheses are going to, they can take two things from you. Again, this is really important, if you don't get it, you have to ask it right away. So these media queries can take two things from you. They can either take max width or they can take min width. Now what is max width or min width? Max width would mean whatever width you are going to specify, what you have to do below that width. For example, if I were to say max dash width to be, let's say, 600 pixels, now everything I write inside these parentheses is only going to be implemented when the screen size is below 600 pixels. So this max is kind of, you can say it's kind of like opposite. So these things, these curly braces are only implemented when my screen size is below 600 pixels. So if what would happen if I were to change this max into min?
Will be above.
Exactly. Everything I write inside these curly braces is only going to be implemented when my screen size reach above 600 pixels. But mostly we use max width. Now what does this max width mean?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If it's exact 600, would
Okay.
it be like be max or min?
If it's exact 600 pixels.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything we write inside these curly braces is only going to be implemented when we reach below this screen size. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
basic.
basically, like max width is opposite of it, like
Yeah.
smaller
Yeah.
screen,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
then for min width, it's for bigger screen.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. But this time you're going to help me out. Okay. So tell me, how do I write media queries?
Add the media.
Okay. Good. At the rate media, and then
Space.
good. Spaces must. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And then
Parentheses. Parentheses.
good. Parentheses.
There's golden
Then
width. Looking for it. Max.
max width. Yeah.
Max.
What would max width mean?
600.
No. What would max 100 mean?
Oh, it's gonna be like
Exactly. Whatever width you put here, you can put whatever you want. Okay. It doesn't have to be 600 pixels. You can put whatever you want. Okay. So let's say I'm gonna put 600 pixels. So what would this mean is, and after this, what would I write? Then I'll tell you what this would mean. After the parentheses, yeah, good, curly braces. Okay, so everything I write here is only going to be implemented when my screen size reach below 600 pixels. Okay, so what I want to do here is, I want to do what? When it reaches below 600 pixels, what do I want to do? I want to change my color of the body,
the background.
yeah, into blue. So what would be my selector here? So nothing's going to change. Okay, just like it's going to be the same as we have been doing these past classes. Okay, nothing's going to change. So I'm gonna select my body, and I'll say the background color is going to be blue. Nothing happened. Why? Why didn't anything happen?
Because the it's more than 600.
Exactly, good. It's more than 600, and what we have said here is the body should only have the blue color only when it reaches below 600 pixels. So I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm at the 600 pixels. Why didn't it work? Why didn't
It's
it
not
work?
600.
Exactly, good. So we're gonna reach below it. So
655.
here you go. So when it's below 600 pixels, it's gonna have blue. When it reaches above it, it's gonna have red. So what is our screen doing? It's responding us according to the different screen sizes.
Wait, so if you do 600, what would happen?
If I do 600, so basically what's going to happen is, wait, let me do the 600. There you go. What do you think would happen?
Um,
Okay,
so it's min.
anything,
So it's
anything that
minimum.
is 600 or below it is going to be executed, is going to be using this code.
Okay.
Okay, anything above 600 is going to be using this code.
Got it.
Okay, so is it easy? So basically what's it doing is it's responding us. Okay, so now I need to do one more thing. When it reaches below 300 pixels, it should have a green color. How should I do it?
It will do at the rate
Good. After, okay, okay,
media.
there's one more thing. You have to do it in a hierarchy, basically level wise. So basically, is 300 smaller than 600 or bigger than 600 pixels?
Smaller.
Smaller, yeah. So you have to do it after this media query. Okay, otherwise it's not going to work.
Oh,
So
okay.
what should I do?
At the
At the
rate
rate
media.
media
Space,
space
parentheses,
parentheses.
max
Very
width,
good. Max width
300
columns.
px,
Very good. 300 px and then
access of
good curly
parentheses,
braces.
curly
So what do I want to do when it reaches 300 pixels and below it?
green,
We want to change the background color of the body. So I'm going to say body and background color to be green.
green.
Didn't work. Why?
Again, because it's 860.
Exactly. Good. So when I reach below 600, what would happen below 600?
It'll turn blue.
Blue. Good. Now if I reach
300
below
green.
300, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So what is it doing? It's basically responding us to different screen sizes. Okay, let me change it to min width. What do you think would happen?
Everything above? Above.
Okay, above what? So basically
Above
this is going to
300.
work. This is going to work above 300 pixels. This is going to work above 600 pixels. And when is this going to work? This is going to work above 300.
Anything below
Below what?
300?
Very good. Exactly. It's going to work below 300. So it's going to have green above 300 pixels. Okay. Then I'm going to do it. Here you go. Above. Wait. Above 3. What's happening here? Wait. Above 300 pixels is going to have green. Above 600 pixels is going to have blue. Okay. The order isn't right. That's why this isn't working.
Oh,
Why do you think it's not working?
the 600 is above.
Yeah, so basically now it's min width, so we have to put it.
Just switch the order.
Yeah, here you go. Okay, but in most of the cases we are gonna use this max width. Okay, mostly max width is used.
Okay.
Okay, so is the media queries the theoretical part or the basic part is clear?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do something more interesting. So I'm gonna have an h1 here. That's going to say, let's say, what should I say? I should say, let's say, responsiveness. Okay, we have this. Okay, so what I want is I want to have, let's say, red color. No, not red. Let me change the color. Purple color on the bigger screen for the body. Okay, then I want this h1 to be bigger. I want this h1 to have white color on the bigger screens. So what should I do is I'm going to go inside the style. I'm going to target the body first, and I'll say the background color is going to be purple. Okay, now for the h1 I'm going to say h1, and how do I make it bigger? What's the property for that?
Font size.
Yeah, good. Font size. So I'm going to say, let's say 5 rem. Yeah, it's bigger. And then I wanted to have a color of white. Okay, so what I want is, when this screen reaches 600 pixels, I want this background to be brown, and I want this h1 to be, let's say, pink maybe. Yeah, how do I do it? Okay, how do I do
So
it?
you do at the rate
At
media
the rate media
space
space
parentheses
parentheses, and then,
max width
yeah, good. I'm gonna say max dash width. Then what next? When it reaches 600 pixels.
600
No. Before that, we have to equal it. How do we equal something in CSS?
colon
Yeah, good. Colons, and then I'm gonna say 600 px.
600 pixels and then outside the curly brackets.
Good. So what do I want to do? Like, I want to make the body to have a,
Background
yeah, good, background color of what?
brown.
No, background color of
Oh,
what?
the body, the
Yeah, good.
body
The body to have a background color of
of
brown,
brown.
and I want my h1 to have pink color. How do I do it?
You have to go to H1
Yeah, good. Outside the body,
and make the color pink.
h1. Okay, outside the body, because this is the body selector.
Yeah,
h1, and then we're gonna say color pink.
pink.
Didn't happen. Why? Why didn't the color of the body is brown and this one should be
Because
pink?
the width
Yeah, good. When would this become brown?
brown
Yeah, when would this become brown?
when it reaches 600
Good.
pixels.
So I'm gonna decrease it. Here you go. And we have, well, there's not much difference between the pink and white. So let me change it to, give me a color, any color. Maybe that should be visible on the brown screen. Uh, Yellow maybe. Let's say yellow. So here you go. Yeah, yeah. It looks good. But there's a problem here, and that problem is, this is too big for the smaller screens. What should I do? Like, it should be smaller on the smaller screen. Where should I write the size to be smaller? Here or here?
In the H1,
Which one? We have two H1s, here as well and here as well.
the color one. I mean the
We
yellow
both,
one.
yeah, the yellow one. Both of them have the colors. Okay, so I'm gonna say font size, and that's a 2 rem. Didn't happen again. Why is that? Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it become smaller?
We because we have it's to
Yeah.
not at that
Exactly.
the
Good.
dimension.
So I'm gonna ask it again and again for the starters. Okay, I'm not gonna do it again for, maybe, let's say, when we reach a point when you guys get all of this. Okay, so in the smaller screen, I want it to be in the center, on the smaller screen only. What should I do? Where should I write? Here or here?
The bottom.
Yeah, good, the bottom one. So what should I write in order to make it go in the center?
Justify content.
That is the property of flex
Text align.
text align. Text align center. So I'm gonna decrease it. Here you go. On the bigger screens, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be white. It's going to be on the left side. And when we reach smaller screens, here you go. So what is happening here is, our website is responsing us according to the screen sizes. So basically, this website is being built for every screen. This is the laptop screens, this is the mobile screen, and for every screen it's perfect. Okay, so I think now we should move on towards some real things, how responsiveness is going to be implemented in real websites. Okay, so we're gonna start it again easy, but as we move on, we're gonna do some real websites. But for the starters, let's say We'll start with something basic. Okay, so what I want is this is my main page, hero section. We're gonna have the title section, and then okay, wait, let me make it smaller because we should have a smaller screen as well. So okay, this is the hero section. This is going to be our title page, title section. This is going to be our image section. Okay, so this is how it should be on the larger screen. So I'm going to write here LG. Okay, so you guys know that this is for the larger screens. This is our title, this is our paragraph, and this is going to be our button, and this would be our image. Okay, so the same layout for smaller screen is going to be something like this. This, and everything is going to be in the center. Here you go. Here you go. Okay, and this one is going to be for the smaller screen. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to make our website that is feasible on both bigger screens and the smaller screens. Okay, so what do you see? First we have to always style for the bigger screens. So what do you see? Come on, we have created two big websites, so this should be easy. How do we create it? Let me do the boilerplate first. Okay, then are you guys there? Are you guys here?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so what do you see? We just have a div.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so let's do hero. Okay, and this div has how many divs?
Two.
Two. Yeah, good. So we're gonna say title, and we are going to say, let's say, image. Inside the title we have, let's say, h1, and we're gonna say this is the title. And for the para, have we discussed about lorems?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say lorem and 30, and then we have this button. I'm gonna say button, and it will say contact us. And for the image, I'm gonna go to Google, and I'll say image, and let's say coding. Okay, images. Have we discussed about these tools or not?
Yeah.
Okay, tools, and I want to have a PNG, so we don't have the background. Oh, yeah, this looks good. So click on it, right click, copy image address, and inside the image we're gonna have the image tag, paste it, and the width should be 100%. Okay, so yeah, here we have our basic layout. So first thing I want to do is I want to make them go side by side. What should I do?
Display flex.
Good. Display flex on what?
Hero.
Yeah, good. Hero. So I'm going to do internal styling for this one as well. So inside the head I'm going to have a style tag. Dot hero, hash hero, or is just hero?
Dot hero.
Yeah, good. Dot hero. Dot hero, and I'll say display of flex. So yeah, perfect. But there is a problem here. So what's happening here is, because of this paragraph, the title section is assigned more width as compared to the image section. Can you guys see? This left section has more width as compared to this right section. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I make each section take up exactly the same width? How do I do it?
Do we have to use flex?
We have used flex.
Can you give the width 50?
Exactly, very good. We exactly that. This is what we have to do. So we're gonna target both sections. I'm gonna say title, and I'm gonna say image. Second one was image, and I'll say the width of both of them should be 100%. Oh no, not 100%, sorry. It should be 50%. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now I want to make entire parent smaller. So let me highlight the parent first. I'm gonna say border, let's say 2 pixels, solid red. So yeah, so I want to make the entire parent smaller. How do I do it?
You should decrease the width like in
Exactly.
general.
Good. I'm gonna say width. Let's say 60% maybe. Yeah, I want them in the center. How do I do it?
Margin.
Very good. So I'm gonna say margin to be auto. Perfect. So let me remove this border now. Or wait, let me make it here. We'll remove it later. Okay. So I want to make this h1 bigger. So I'm gonna say that get me the h1 that is inside the title, and I'm gonna say the font size is gonna be, let's say, 3 rem. Yeah, it's good. And let me target the paragraph. So I'm gonna say title and then paragraph. Get me the paragraph that is inside the title. So I'm gonna say font size and 1.3 rems. Yeah, and it should have a color of some shade of gray maybe. Nice to dull. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and let me change the font family as well because this doesn't look good. And let's say sans serif. Perfect. And then target this button, and we're gonna say get me the button that is inside the title. So how should I make this button to look more attractive? What should I do? Now we don't have any design, so you have to use your creativity. What should I do?
Border
Okay, border
radius.
radius. So let's say border radius, maybe let's say 40 pixels, so it's full round. Now what?
Padding.
Padding, good. So let's say padding. So let's say 0.5 from top and bottom and 1 rem from left and right. Perfect. Now,
Can we also add a hover?
yeah, we can add the hover. So first let's style the button and then we can add the hover later on. So what do you think? What should we do?
Background color?
Yeah, good. So let's match the background color with this theme. So I'm gonna pick this color and I'm gonna say the background is going to be this. Perfect. And let's say the color should be white. Okay, and what more should we do?
Get rid of the border.
Yeah, good, very good. Get rid of the border and let's say border none. Now let's do some more padding because it's too thin. Perfect. Okay, do you guys remember about before and after? I'm gonna show you a really cool animation.
Okay.
Do you guys remember about before and after?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to do is when I hover upon this button, I want to make something move from this section, like from bottom to top. It's gonna cover the button. So what's gonna happen here is I need you to pay close attention to this. So I'm gonna say dot title, and then I'm gonna say button. And how many columns should I put for after? Single colon, double colon?
Double.
Double, yeah. So I'm gonna say double colon, then after. The first thing it takes is, what is the first thing it takes? Starts with a C, follows with O, and then N.
Content.
Yeah, content, and by default it's going to be empty. Then I'll
Empty.
say width to be 100%. Then I'll say height to be 100%. And then I'll say the background is going to be, for the time being, let's say green. So we're not going to see anything because width and height doesn't work. So we're going to say display to be block because it's an inline element. So it's still not here. Wait, let me put the content here. Yeah, it's here, but we cannot see it. Why can't we see it? Let me inspect it. So I want to get the after element. So it is here, but yeah, it is here, but we cannot see it. So what I want to do is I want to make after move according to the button. So what should I do? I want to make after move according to the button. What do you do when you want to move something according to something else?
Um,
It was a really important topic. When you want to move, when you want to move something according to something else, we use positions. So the parent button
position.
is going to have the position of relative, and this after is going to have a position of absolute.
Absolutely.
We're gonna say this top is going to be, sorry, this after is going to be 0% from the top. So we have this, okay, and from the left side is gonna be 0 as well. Perfect, and it should also have the border radius same as the button, that is 40 pixels. So yeah, now we have this. Okay, so I want to have let's say some, I want to see the content inside the button. So what should I do?
You have to write something in the content.
We have written something in the content. No, no, no. What I meant is, wait, let me remove this absolute. So I want this contact, the contact. I want to see this contact us, even though, even if we have this green one here. Okay, okay. Let's skip that for the last part. So by default, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put height to be 0. Okay. So now what I want is when I hover upon this, I want it to move that after element from below to top. What should I do? I want to put hover here. So I'm going to say title and then button, and then I'm going to say when I hover upon this button, I want the effect to be applied to the after element, and I'll say when I hover upon it, the height should be 100%. It's going to be sudden, so I want to make it smoother. What should I do?
Transition.
Transition, yeah. So I'm going to say transition all 0.6 seconds. So it's like this. But I don't want to, it's moving from, like it's moving from outside the button. What should I do to hide it? What should I do? We can say anything that is outside this button should be hidden. So I'm going to say overflow. Have we discussed about overflow?
No.
Okay, so basically what overflow is refers to is, can you see this green one? It's basically going outside its parent.
Yeah.
So overflow would mean anything that is being overflown from the parent. Okay, so I'm going to say overflow to be hidden. So it's not going to be seen anything that is outside the parent.
Got
Okay,
it.
so again this is just for the this fancy stuff, so maybe let's skip it for the later parts. So yeah, that's a simple button we have here. We were discussing responsiveness, we shouldn't go far at the moment. Okay, so what I want to do is now, this is really good for the bigger screens. Okay, it looks good, but when I use it, when I see it in the smaller screens, it's messed up. Okay, here, as long as it's here, it's good. Let me reduce the paragraph as well, because we have the paragraph is too big. Okay, so I'm going to decrease it. You should say stop when you think that we have a problem in the display. Do we have it here? Do we have the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what should we do in order to avoid this problem? Okay, the first thing you need to notice is when at which screen size does this problem arrives. So I'm going to decrease it. Yeah, here. So
Yeah.
what's the screen size?
1142.
1142. Yeah, good. So I'm going to put the media queries for 1142, or maybe round it off to 1150. Okay, so I'm gonna say, what should I say?
At the rate
At the
media.
rate media. Yeah, good.
Space,
Space,
parentheses,
parentheses,
max width,
max width, and what was it? I guess 1150.
1150,
Let's round off to 1150.
1150.
Okay.
Okay.
And what should we do in order to make it look better? What should we do? What do you think? What should we do? Like, it's totally up to you. You have to make it responsive, so you can do it however you want.
image underneath?
Yeah, we can do that, but the screen size is too big to do that. We want to do it for mobile phones, and mobile screen basically starts from 600 pixels. So we should wait until that point.
Okay.
Okay, before that point, when we what should we do? As long as we're not at that point, there are a lot of ways. What should we do? Do we have space on the right side and left side?
Yeah.
So what would happen if we were to increase the space of this red box? Wouldn't it help?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it reaches 1150, what I want to do is I'll say the hero section should have a width of, by default is 60 pixels or 60%. I'm gonna say increase it to 80%. Okay, wait, let me increase the size. 80 and then percent. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so 1256 we have 60%. When we reach below, okay, here you go. Look, here we have smaller width. When we reach below 1150, the width increases, and now it accommodates these two. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna decrease it more. So where do we have the problem? Here we have the problem.
Right here.
What's the screen size? 860.
860.
Yeah, maybe let's say, yeah, 860 is good.
Okay.
So how do we write 860?
The same.
At the weight, media,
Space.
space,
Width.
max width. Should we write it below or after it? Should we write below it or above it? 1150. Before 1150 or after 1150? This is really important. This 860,
Below.
yeah, below, because this is smaller than this one. So I'm gonna say, what should I do in order to accommodate it? How should I make it responsive?
The width.
Yeah, good. Let's increase the width. So I'm gonna say hero. By default, it's 80 pixels at 1150. I'm gonna say now it's going to be 95%. So yeah, perfect. So now raises the problem. Next problem is being raised when, okay, we can do one more thing. Okay, this font for the font size is too big for 860 pixels. This is too big. So let's decrease the font size. So I'm gonna say when it reaches 860 pixels or below it, the H1 inside the hero section should now have the font size of 1.5 frames. Oh, why didn't it happen? Hero and then H1. Hero. It's not hero. We're gonna say title and then H1. Nah, still didn't work. Why didn't it work? Title and then H1. And what I have written here is font family, not font size. So yeah, same with the paragraph as well. We're gonna say when it reaches 860, the paragraph should be smaller as well. So I'm gonna say font size for the paragraph should now decrease from 1.5 to, let's say, 1 rem. Yeah, perfect. So next problem is, so now what I want to do is I want to make them like this. So one last push and it's perfectly responsive. What should I do? And where when should I do it? At what screen size? I want to do it here.
When it is smaller.
At which screen? Let's say here. Here maybe, yeah. 530. So I'm gonna go outside this media gray and I'll say again at the rate 30. Yeah, good. And what should I do? I want to make them column wise now. By default they're row. I want to make them into column. What's the property we have studied about it? we have studied about this property?
Display direction.
Display direction?
Flex direction.
Flex direction. Yeah, good. Flex direction on what?
The road.
Like who's the
On hero.
good on hero? So I'm gonna say hero, and I'll say you don't have to write flex again. Okay, display. You don't have to write flex. The display flex again. Why is that? Because it's going to get all of the properties from the hero. It's just going to implement these new properties inside the media queries. Other than these properties, everything is going to be inherited from the parent. So I'm gonna say flex direction column. Yeah, perfect. So there is a problem for the larger screen. Then we have this, perfect. But now I want them in the center. What should I do? Yeah, I want them both of them to be in the center. What's the property for that? Good. So inside the media query, I'm gonna say justify content in the center. Didn't happen. Why is that? Because we have put the width of these two to be 50%. So that's why they're not moving. So how do I make them go in the center?
Change the width to 100.
Yeah, we can do that. We're gonna say the title and the image is gonna have a width of 100%. So it's going to work. Perfect. Great. But now I want these to be in the center. This heading and this paragraph and this. No. This is the text. So what should I do? I'm gonna say text line in the center. So here you go. Let me remove the border so you can see it clearly. So now it's going to work on every screen size. Look.
That's cool.
Sorry?
I said that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, this is how you are going to deliver your website to your client. Okay, it should work on every screen size. For example, if I were to use this extension, it's going to show you that this is how it's going to look on your mobile phones, and this is how you want it to look. Okay, not like the websites we have created until the point we have created. Okay, so any question until this point? We're going to start a new section again inside the same website. So any problem in this section? Okay, great. So let's create the new section. So this is going to be a testimonial section. So do you guys know about testimonial sections, where you know in your website there are a lot of people that are going to comment about your services? So we have cards like this. Wait, we have cards here, and this title and this paragraph. So this is how. Okay, so this is what we want to create. All of the cards is going to be same, so that's why I haven't put anything here. Okay, so this is how it's going to look on the bigger screen, but on the smaller screen the same cards are going to be aligned like this. Okay, any problem with the layout? This is your smaller screen and this is your larger screen. Okay, so what should we do? We want to do it inside the same section here. So outside the hero, what should we do? Like it's the same question again.
We're gonna make a div.
Exactly, we're gonna make a div. Let's call it cards. Good. And then inside the cards, how many divs do we have?
3.
3. Yeah, good. But we're gonna make one and we'll copy paste it again and again because it's the same for everything. Okay. So I'm gonna say maybe T card because it's the testimonial cards. Inside this T card, we are going to have this image. So I'll say T image. I'm not going to say again image because we already have this image. T image, and then we'll have this h2 maybe, let's say h2, let's say username, and then we have this paragraph, and we are gonna say, let's say lorem and 5. Perfect. So yeah, we have this card. Let me get the image. Okay, right click, copy image address.
The class is about to end in 2 minutes.
Okay, let me send you a new link, and then we can continue. So right click, copy image address, and inside the T image I'm going to put image tag, paste it, and I'm going to have the width to be 100%. Okay, so yeah, so how many cards do we need?
3.
3. Good. So I'm gonna copy this T card. What's the shortcut for copying it down?
Shift.
Shift,
Alt.
Alt.
Arrow down.
Good. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I want them side by side.
Display select.
On what?
Parent.
Who's the parent?
Sequence.
Uh-huh.
Oh, cards.
Cards. So outside the media query, okay, make sure you are first designing for the larger screen. I'm gonna target the cards, and I'll say display to be flex. Perfect. So now I want to make it exactly the same width as the above one. So what was the width of the above one for the larger screen? It was 60%. So I'm gonna say the cards are also going to have the width of 60%. Okay, want them in the center. What should I do? I want the entire div to be in the center.
Margin.
Margin, good. So I'm going to say margin, 2 rem from top and bottom, and order from left and right. Perfect. And I want to have some space between them.
Gap.
Good. I'm going to say gap. Okay. Perfect. Now I want to make them look like cards. Okay, so let's put a shadow. Do you guys remember about the shadow? How do we put shadow on something? What was the property for making?
Shadows.
No, there was something else. The property name was something else.
Box shadow.
Box shadow, yeah, good, box shadow. So I'm not gonna do it myself. So basically, there's a really cool website called CSS Scan, and you can say CSS Scan and then shadow. Have you discussed about this? It has a lot of shadows you can use, like a lot of shadows. So let me take some. Which should we take?
A pink one.
Pink one? Which one was the pink?
Yeah. Right here.
This one? We have 48, 49, and 50. Which should we take?
50.
Okay, let's click it, and it's going to be copied. And let's go back to the code, and I'm going to target the single card. So single card is named as, what was the single card name? T card. I'm going to say T card, and then paste it here. So yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so let me make it a bit rounded. So how should I do it? Border radius, let's say 10 px. What's the problem? The image is getting outside the parent. So how do we make something that is going outside the parent to be hidden? We have discussed about it just previously. What was the property?
Overflow hidden.
Good, very good. So we're gonna say overflow hidden. So anything that is being outside the parent, that's going outside the parent, should be hidden. So yeah, it's now hidden. Okay, now I want to have some padding from the inside. So inside the T card, I'm gonna say padding to be, let's say, 1 rem. Some border. So I'm gonna say border 1px solid and light gray. Yeah, perfect. Now they're looking good. So yeah, the designing for the bigger screen is complete. Okay, now let's move towards the responsiveness. How do we check the responsiveness? How do we do it?
Inspect.
Very good. Right click, inspect, and now let's see where the problem arises.
Right here.
Yeah, exactly. Right where we have 11:30. Yeah, good. 11:30. So I think we have something with 11:30. Now we have 11:50. So we can accommodate in this one as well. So we can increase the size for the cards div as well. Okay, just like we did with the above one. So we have put the width of the hero to be 80%. We can do the same with cards as well. So yeah, perfect. Now we have it here. That is 860. Okay, just like we did with the hero, we have increased the width of hero. We can do the same with the cards as well. So I'm going to say comma and then cards, like increase the width of the cards as well. So perfect. Now there's no space for them. Yeah, now there's no space for them to, and there's no space to, we cannot increase the width more. So what should we do? We are going to make them in a column direction. How do we do it?
Position.
No, not positions. In a column
Sorry.
direction.
Flex direction.
Yeah, good. Flex direction. So in the same way it was 512. So we have something. Yeah, we have 530. So we can target the cards, and we're gonna say flex direction to be column. Perfect. Let me open it in the mobile phone and let's see how it's looking. So yeah, they're looking pretty good. And not just a mobile phone, it's looking good on every screen. Let me show you. So if this is the biggest screen, so let me reduce the size. It's gonna adapt accordingly. Perfect. So let me increase the size for, let's say, iPhone 12. It's gonna look good. Let me do it for Samsung S8. Good. Let me do it with iPad Air. Looks good. Maybe let's say Surface Pro. Wait. And Pixel 7. Yeah, everything looks good. So this is the basics of responsiveness, but it's not going to be easy when we do it in the real website, but this is the basics. If you were to get the basics, it's going to be easy for you. So any problem in these two sections?
No.
Okay, so for the time being, I need you to forget about the PC website. Okay, don't do it. Okay, don't do it at the moment. Today's homework is going to be really important. Why is it going to be really important? Because whatever we are going to do tomorrow, inshallah, is totally going to be based upon today's homework. Okay, so today's homework is really important, like really important. You have to do it before the next class and you have to submit before the next class. In fact, we are not going to start the next class unless you have submitted your assignment. Okay, so today's task is going to be really important. It's not going to be much. We have only two sections. Okay, there's only going to be two sections, and those two sections is going to be like this. I'm going to create it for you. Okay, so this is going to be a nav bar. So the one I'm designing here is going to be for the bigger screen. And then we have menu items, and we have made this like 3 or 4 times, I guess, so it's not going to be difficult. So this is how it's going to look on the bigger screen, and for the smaller screen, my nav bar for this, when I say smaller, I mean around below 600 pixels. So there we have the logo, and here we would have a hamburger menu icon. Do you guys remember about the hamburger menu? The list icon, like it should be like this.
The KFC one?
Yeah, that one. So yeah, so this is going to be for the larger screen, this is going to be for the smaller screen. You guys can take the picture and share it in the group, please, because I'm going to remove this. Well, let me take the picture. I'm gonna share in the group.
Okay, I did a screenshot.
Okay, you took the screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So please can you share it in the group? So because we have two more sections.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first section, and for the second section is gonna be similar to what we did today. It's going to be the title section and the image section, and we would have the heading, the paragraph, and then we would have two buttons here, and this is going to be the image. And for the smaller screen, it will be the same as we did today, the above section and the image section, and everything should be in the center. So this is section. Please take the screenshot and please share in the group.
Okay, done.
Okay, and for the last section, this is really important. It's kind of similar to the last section we did, but it has some additional style. The image is going to be outside the parent, like this, and it would have four cards and not three, and the same styling for every card. You can just make one and copy paste the rest. This is for the larger screen, and for the smaller screen they are going to be arranged in columns, but the image is not going to be outside anymore now. It's now going to be inside the card for the smaller screens. Now this is really logical, but again it's just one command. So yeah, I'm not gonna do the rest of them because I don't have any space. So this is, yeah, how it's going to look for the smaller screen.
Okay.
So any questions? And when I say smaller screen, I mean every screen, like from the tablets to the desktop to the larger screens to LED screens and to mobile screens. Just keep the watches for the timing.
Okay.
So any problem, any question?
No.
Okay. If you don't have any questions, then that's it for the class, and inshallah we'll have a new website tomorrow. Okay, you can go. Allah Hafiz.
Okay,
Alright,
Jason.
it was.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Love
Allah Hafiz.